Mic check. Oh, what's up, guys? Welcome to my very first podcast. This week on the StreamOven, batch number 2. I believe you say his name, Dodgy, DODG3Y. So, let's go ahead and get into this little podcast version of this stream review. So, my loaves. So, before I get into this, expect a podcast to be uploaded every week upon the release of the blog. I wanted to give my viewers an opportunity to also listen to my reviews. That way, if they only have time in their day, maybe in the car, that they could just listen to it and not danger themselves out on the road trying to read my blog on the highway. So, like I said, we will be reviewing DODG3Y. Alright, so some of my first thoughts was one of the first things I noticed was that some of the panels did not work. I opened his channel and there were many errors on some of the softwares he was using on his panels. So the leaderboard wasn't working, another one of the apps wasn't working. It gives a bit of a cluttered appeal in my opinion. It really isn't that big of a deal, however, it just gives me an impression that the channel appearance has not been heavily focused on. Now, don't get me wrong, I do enjoy the color scheme of the yellow panel buttons. It gives off an image that looks a bit like warning tape, which I thought was pretty cool. The streamer's schedule seems to be a bit alright, and after reading the panels, I really gotta say, Dodgy seems to be pretty relatable and displays actually a fair bit of personality in with something as small as his info panels. My biggest critique so far, though, is that the layout just doesn't really sit that well with my eye. It seems to be a very free Google imagey kind of scattered layout. I would suggest a possible revamp and an update on the panels that run applications that no longer work on your stream, Dodgy. So, got the little bit negative out of the way. So what makes this streamer different? So he may have been lacking a little bit on the channel appearance. However, the vibe I got watching him kind of made up for it. I tuned in one of his streams and the loading screen said, "Dodgy will be here soon. Take a seat, grab your beer, and don't forget to give to others." I thought this was very interesting. I came to watch some gameplay, and this content creator is telling me to kick back my feet, grab a beer, and let's have a conversation. No sub goal, no pressure, nothing. I absolutely loved this about watching him. Before I even got a chance to see his face, my first impression of him was very good. A viewer is going to watch a stream for a couple of seconds, and in those first few seconds, they're going to decide whether or not they want to keep watching. Dodgy gave me a very cozy feeling of welcome immediately. I wanted to stay. He went live and I noticed that he was playing with teammates and he was talking to them, so there was a bit of chatter going on. Obviously, it's harder to do with fewer viewers, but it took a long time to get his personality through his voice out to me. He was a quiet boy when I was watching for the most part. But this could be because of a little bit of inactivity in the chat. Some people like a chatterbox, while others like gameplay only. I think it's important to have both. My only suggestion would be to really start telling viewers about the game, and maybe annotate what's going on in your mind and why you are making the decisions you were in-game. Once the stream got going and he got a sub, I really noticed his personality begin to shine. He was truly amazing to watch while the chat was active. However, he struggles with what many of us do, staying energetic when the chat is dead. This is to be expected of most streamers, though. So as far as affiliations go, he is a streamer for Radicate Esports. His 3 most popular games are Overwatch, PUBG, and Ring of Elysium. So let's get to the interview real quick. In the future podcasts, I'm going to try to have the interview to be a voice, but I think the biggest struggle of that was having someone write down what he says. I can try it, but this interview was through DM, so I'm going to be reading how the conversation went. So I normally ask these streamers about 3 questions. My first question for him was, so why do you stream? And he said, I stream because I enjoy putting on a show. I enjoy it when people say comments like, I've had a great time, or cheers for the stream. It gives you a buzz, that feeling of, yes, I have made them happy and they are smiling. Then I asked him a second question. If you could be any animal, what would you be and why? His reply was, animal, I want to be a lion. Well, 1, I'm lazy like a lion, and 2, I'm a Leo. I was born August. They're so powerful, but yet majestic animals. The power they have is amazing, and when you see them, it's a privilege that they're here and that we can admire such kings of the wild. So, my last question for him was, what are your goals? And his response was, first goal is to provide a life for my 5 kids. Yes, I said 5, to be able to give them the best start in life. Second, to be able to build a real friendly community, a safe space where people can go have fun, chat to their mates, and smile. There's so much hate in the world, and if I can give somebody an area of safety, then I'm happy to do that. 3, to just keep enjoying streaming and build my stream and have fun. Because like anything, life, when the fun stops. 4, and if I'm real honest, to make partner on Twitch. I would love to do that, as I know I have done it on my own. No follow for follow, or lurk for lurk, or lurking discords. It's me, and I have achieved something amazing by hard work. I really enjoyed the interview with him. I was very surprised to get that last answer. I really loved reading his goals. So in conclusion, I actually really enjoyed reviewing DODG this week. I was a little worried at first because the first thing I judge is the channel's appearance. However, it was a fun treat to watch some of his PUBG streams. I think there's definitely a lot of room for improvement. What I really liked about this guy, though, is that his mind seems to be in the right place. Even though his channel is pretty small, he understands what it means to be a content creator. You aren't going there showing up to his little pity party. You're going there to open a drink and chill out with them. Definitely a good, authentic stream to watch. Now let's get to a StreamOven score. When giving a streamer an SOS, I consider 3 things: channel appearance, originality, and overall attitude / vibe in the stream. The max score someone can get is 10. So DODG's StreamOven score I gave him was a 7. This concludes the review. Now let's get into a little bit of the side dishes. Gaming news. Yeah, most streamers have been milking these 2 games dry for the last couple of weeks. I'm talking about Apex Legends and Fortnite. Fortnite and Apex are the biggest battle royales on Twitter at the moment. The number of viewers on Twitch between the 2 have fluctuated and stirred much commotion on Twitter, sparking debates of Fortnite dying, Apex being the best, etc. My question to y'all, though, are these 2 games copying each other? Apex just launched its Battle Pass this week, very similar and set up to Fortnite's. But listen to this. Fortnite plans to incorporate player respawning very similar to Apex in the future. It appears that these battle royales are having a free-for-all to get members to play their game. I wonder what the future holds for this genre of game. Do you have any gaming news that you think should be shared in the next blog? You can contact me on Twitter, viewers, @subcanis, link in the description. So I don't know how I'm exactly going to do this, but in my blogs and in my reviews, I normally put a meme. And as you know with podcasts, it is audio only. So I can't really show you the meme, but I will describe it. We'll see how awkward this is. So TTV, new streamer 123. How do I grow? Subcanis. Make real friends. Focus on your content. Be patient. And work hard. TTV, streamer 123. Pikachu face. So we're going to wrap up today's podcast with the topic of the week that I also wrote about. So someone asked me, Subcanus, what are your thoughts on lurking? Oh, yes. It only takes a new streamer a few days to figure out what lurking is. Hashtag lurk. Hashtag lurk for lurk. Hashtag we all grow together. The most used command on Twitch. Lurking is such a broad topic to discuss. What makes this question even harder is that lurking can be very negative and very positive depending on the situation. I will open 1 or 2 streams when I get home and say hello and leave them open. This is my way to show support to that content creator. I work full time, I go to college, and I'm expecting a kid in June. All in all, I am a pretty busy guy. No BS. I genuinely cannot sit down and watch people for hours. I use this tool to say hello, occasionally chat with streamers, and show them that I care about them. It's kind of like texting your old friends just to tell them you still love them. I talked with my wife, Lexi, about this, and she was kind of on the same page for what I'm about to say. Lurking because you're a busy adult, completely understandable. Tabbing 50 people and joining lurking communities, cancer. I am pretty sure Twitch is going to find a way to limit this, but I think it's especially saddening to see partner pushes. The whole idea really does boggle my mind. If you're having to get a group of people together to push a partner to meet minimum requirements, then they really shouldn't be making partner that time around. Going to be 100% blunt with that one. What's the fun in just barely meeting the minimum requirements? The lurk communities that just keep the nasty stuff off the bottom of the barrel isn't really helping anyone. Trust me, if you make real friends, you'll have an amazing chat. And they'll be pretty engaging. Some of your friends will be lurking because they're busy adults, but they won't necessarily be there just to inflate your numbers. So that's all I really have to say about that. I would like to thank you if you've listened this far. This is a one record podcast. We had to do everything. I don't think I'm going to be editing it. But if you want to get the newest podcast every week, make sure you like the video, you drop a subscribe, and turn your notifications on. My socials will be down in the description. The best way to get in contact with me is via Twitter. So I hope everyone enjoyed listening to this week's stream review reviewing Dodgy, batch number 2. Thank y'all.